we go. All right, let's call this meeting to order at 6:02 p.m. with a flag salute, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Are there any amendments to the agenda this evening? All right, hearing none, we'll approve the agenda and move into our consent agenda. Very much. Okay, so facility wet water updates are completely up to date. Student out and past reporting. I'm actually currently working with Brian with that to get paid. So started about with all of those pieces in place for compliance and help. You know, want to give a shout out to Pamela Russell. She requested and the grant fund to set up club and purpose and set up a holiday floral front. It's OG deliver by the best report. Grant and finishing up those final components. Our cover was finally installed. The wall padding and the door padding also. Well, there's OSA for our yeah, work again aligning with our learn at home and really custom tasks. So we have some non-negotiable requirements, extra practice that's happening across the K-12 system every day. Students are going to start recording their time that it's swing, but we have a lot of work. Small increments of either in place for our so we are going to have that. And what I would like to do is start looking at the template option. Template. Yeah. Oh, really? All of our observations are complete, and we can all around. We greatly appreciate those. I don't, but they are getting a lot out of it. And I want to give a shout out much of the AD and then all of the assistant principal roles to help on the here, or if I'm on at the law conference, not strictly covered for me. So, have our your plan slash where people fill up, but I did just do a post out to remind Facebook to get all the other. That's where they don't miss out on the little other fun. I'm excited. I really like working and their energy. Yeah, made it on that. Math training is all set for. So I'll be the site coordinator, and we'll have a couple trainers, and then all of our staff will be for January, and our first generate funds. Think for fund efficiencies in our system. Farm grant, veggies, those are underway. Utilize it down and we can apply it. So that eventually be wonderful. That was an exceptional year for our kids, to all of the kids in the community. It was great. We passed on Saturday from this community and external. That was published with Valley Voice students. And the demand is we needed on the program, and so we are working on developing that. Okay, I skipped over one of the superintendent's advisory. Calling it this, more popular, and it's growing. 12 kids on and a couple staff, and one of those staff is also a parent. And that if they're helping what is that? There's an infraction for a behavior, but it's meaningful and appropriate. So we're working that together. So that they're big fans of getting their and more restorative work, like alcohol and outside and other that might give back. And we're also starting. This year's too late to start ASP, but we want to get the foundation in place and then run an actual ASP out of place for next year. Report. But the September forecast looks a little real scary. A big increase in the lottery funds. The forecast is saying yes, they're still going to reduction, but not what thought. There are reserves out there, legislation or how that's going to work, but there are but there is some room there. Very vigilant, conservative in our planning, but also not freaking out. All right, discipline data. So real quick, just running through, we have 3 different types of data. Trackers are really not meant on a daily. It's really to track where are these behaviors happening, what's the behavior, what location, what time, what grade, and then are there. So we look at that data all the time. There really is no difference afternoon. There are those, yeah. And most of our issues are defined, which looking at data, for one response to not really wrapping around our structure, and then also making sure that we have our okay. And and then I also did add in our lovely pipeline grade, 7th grade leap back with most of the effort. Followed by 3rd, and then it's tied. Whether you want that out of this snowboarding. Yep. Okay, then checking out attendance data. Really proud of our kids. I broke it, Laura broke it down by grade, and from 100%, 90 to 99%. So our data is actually strong. So high rate. Have some high flyers that need a little bit of support, and we're giving that support to them. But overall, we have great, and that's those learn at home. Athletic, shift to athletics. All the schedules are being updated or are updated. Officials are confirmed. Transportation arrangements are all set. We've done a shared lineup sheets so that all those extra duties are in place when we're traveling state. Itinerary set, travel plans made, shared lineup for food, and the families all responded to that. So there were questions around a 25th for the boys, all cleared up, down the case, got that filed with OSAA. And then just an FYI, senior night is set for February 12th. Send out a save date. Like the art display is still on. Our awards assembly is set for next Wednesday. On our planning, our master present. Bottom, I think I there. Right. And that is all I have. Your questions? I'm curious on how valuable you feel that adventure how in depth, how useful is the information they're providing? Are they really getting it? I think it is a process. I think the first meeting they had no clue. So that first meeting was just what people out. And there were perspective. So the next meeting was more diverse. But again, if they don't really understand, I think it's fun. Yes, it's just fun. But it's also how are we going to shape this? You guys are responsible for this. I'm excited that they were excited. Fine.
For staff, specifically, I'm thinking about teaching staff. Is there a lot of extra work? Regular kids or not?
The snap, the rest that we want. So one day, and it's like one day, they offer for staff. Okay. A little bit extra, but not. And then supplement what the. Where. Yeah, they have to bring, pay for it, but.
We have to like fresh fruit from farm here.
Well, the fruit, got it for snack, but, it's not defined with salad bar, so it's not. Branch out, develop that a little bit,
Nice to have not so
right?
forks.
That is a whole other story, so again, I. Really looking at fiber.
A lot of food out there.
There's a
Yeah.
lot.
I'm really not familiar with what pass.
Yeah, so like the overarching. So with safety of our facility, so it includes the arrow, but this, that, process, all of those. Or that they're all safe protocol. Or testing. I kind of every single thing that we do is if they test that work with them. Yeah, question this person where this doctor provides contact after do it. Not all of it.
Reporting.
It's
I
a lot of
think they do
reporting,
do it,
yeah.
like I've seen the little radon test. Like,
Yep, exactly.
they're
Radon testing.
doing it, but they don't.
Well, some of it was done at, and people is
sustainable, but not sustainable. We're gonna call out the truth of it.
wait, you're
So in that, in like some of the farm receivable and past reporting, are you those kind of those?
right now. I will be on. I did it survival. But it's just like with the that. So teaching along with a very direct.
Well, I know that you're gonna have to sign off on those things at the end of the day, but it's important. I know that, I know you wanna be the expert, want to go to a multi-tiered spread of.
And I think what I'm finding, and it is my job.
The enrollment is next. Thank you, Laura, for providing a bit more contact and historical information on that. I don't know the numbers, almost at 2 right now. Oh, the enrollment.
It seemed like right there, the spot.
Question. And again, I went over regulars already kind of broke that down. Thank you again for the training report from last year, so we can kind of see the historical in that space. If we get back to the CWF for any of the for enrollment, or not enrollment, I'm sorry, regular attenders. What is that? That's just children out and having fun. Okay, we'll let them keep having fun, I guess. Learn at Home Oregon. I know we're not gonna necessarily give a report on that. I'll always document questions that we can report on the meeting or go back
Rose provides wonderful data, but there's no there. There's no supply. So, yeah, so I already usually post the most recent, stuff, but there's something kind of said to get this thing happening. There will, the next round of diagnostics, and so we'll be able to go all. Bug all of her.
I've asked for that.
Yeah.
On Pete Brown, no, that year where we're gonna.
Yeah.
Oh,
Five shows.
Sorry. For both of them, huh? Do you want to give us a question? Because I'm not sure that everybody has met you before or what your role is with OOS.
question, the column three is bothering me. I'm having trouble wrapping my head around numbers. Yes, projected through 6 of 2025. Okay, that makes a ton of sense. Okay, no, it makes total sense. It's fixed.
I would just say that the board is interested for the efforts segment for what we want to know. Obviously, how do we operate?
I think it's Nice. But I think it's gonna take, it'll take me a couple of months of seeing it in the new format. Um, I think it's very informative, but again, I kind of have to step in when I first walk in. I wanna know critical as we're in the transition year that I was there for where John has said they were going to make sure that there's an action. While we're all processes that we're making those on it, those numbers. So I just want to make sure that I can support her in that. So it's going to take me a couple of times to go through it to really understand it. It's practically daunting, but lay it all out and it's like, oh, yeah, I get it. So I'm looking forward to learning that. But I will say, yeah, because I was like, it was literally like this, like, yeah, I felt like the book was like,
I've never. It's
Yeah.
great.
well, it was
Yeah,
great.
for
Whatever
a long
happened,
time,
it was
and
really good.
This is
Yeah.
easy for me.
One thing that Don always did was he broke down service and transportation separately. I don't think it's interesting to see, but I'm not certain that was really that useful work to do to break it all down for us. There's only so much we can do, but it's good to know like food service is costing us this much here. We know that we need to do something. It's good to know that transportation is costing here, but I'm not certain you can break it down. What your feeling?
Hey, do you have, or can you text Christine and let her know that there's no audio for the board meeting?
Well, I heard you loud and clear, actually.
I don't have her phone number. All I have is Messenger and.
Can you open that computer right there, Stephanie?
Okay. I text Roxy and I text Laura,
Oh, and me.
and it looks like Laura got her text, and now Jamie is looking at it.
Can hear you. Carmen.
Can I add a chat?
Yeah, I think you can.
I'm sorry.
Oh, bit.
Oh, shit, they got it. You don't need to.
Stacy, that front computer. Can you hear us now? Brief interview.
I really wanted to hear about the numbers. You know why?
Oh, that's true.
Right.
Yeah. No, no, those are invites. Yeah. No, no, no. It's picking us up on the mic. Sorry.
Actually, I would find that shocking. For people that didn't have one of our phone numbers.
Let's take just a, oh wait, hold on. Okay, let's take a quick breather. Helpful.
All right, can you guys talk in your mics?
Welcome to rural districts. Oh, look there, I got a good.
We all look good.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and keep going. Hope you guys put a pen in it. All right, we are gonna pass it back to you. Yeah, because I,
Last one, I think, that five, the whole word, I think that's what that $10.
Yeah, I remember him saying something to the effect
We
that
have more than
we have
enough.
enough money.
Or something.
Yeah, I know.
was there last night.
but in the,
Okay, that's why. So this should be that $10.
so two things. One, we didn't charge them. We're not taking them out of personnel's checks this year. So keep that in mind when we go to budget, that might be something that we need to add back into charging for that unemployment with them. Which it was an ad benefit of the year. My opinion is that it gives a little unpredictability to staff. I feel like that is unfair, you know, when they're trying to, but I'm just put it like put a pin in that kind of as we note to go into the budget cycle on what that looks like. Mhm. Okay. Okay. Perfect. But we didn't put anything to continue to build our reserve for this year.
No. Probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
he wasn't charging anything down, said that like what it got for some time, how high that is, like keep in mind, but that's something as numbers start to back into
Mhm.
like, that reserve. I would-
I hate us to not add that in and then have to transfer from our general fund later on. And then the only thing I was gonna just add is when we get to that budget cycle also, Stephanie, it's some of those trends are really helpful as we talk through that budget piece of it. And so that's good information there. Maybe that's when like the food service trending comes in, but I don't necessarily need that on a monthly basis. But as we trend in like how we're approving our budget, I think those are beneficial conversations for the budget committee. This is helpful. Thank you so much. Thank you, Stephanie, for putting up with us. Okay. All right. Laura, Safety Committee. We had one or we had a meeting? Just a quick question. We really have to do a fire drill?
I think we've had enough of them.
Sorry. We'll spare the children and the teachers. Okay. Do we get to use this as banked? Okay, perfect. That's awesome. And congratulations to everybody who just did it splendidly. Great shakedown.
I can. Sorry. But it is funny, yeah. Go to the gym. I mean, really.
So the padding on the back wall, they took it down for the site that they had it put back up.
I talked about that in the report. Yeah, that's what I was.
I'm just curious about how it happened. It's got kicked down bad.
I think I actually don't know. But I think that. So, for you. That's okay. No, that's right. If anyone wants it, I can share this with you. This is what the, that came out at our side. Yeah. Put together a really nice report. And yeah, number one thing, we had a staff keep on it. Have all of you walk around the corner. So the critical pieces that are. So the interior is. Like, there's this whole outside piece, sorry, but there's the other one that. The one down. That. Class. Weight room. Learning opportunity.
Is it fair to say that if our insurance company took a look at that, those are things that they would ding us on too? That we would, yeah.
I would
Okay.
request that if we ever look at. Got it. You know, I mean, I would.
But overall, they said it was great and they liked the additional layers of the other day investment. Go to a phone, do that call. Tomorrow, find that out, but that aspect.
Mm.
So I'm gonna but just looking at some options.
Like, I like the badge idea though too, because they're interchangeable with staff as well, so. All right. Any other questions on safety committee? All right. New business. We have one thing this evening, two things. The first one is the SIA grant. I can't get mine to open, but I'm not concerned about. Oh, you know what? I will refresh. So while I hand the SIA grant off to you, I'm going to refresh as well.
Yeah, okay, so it's new this year that we have that. Really, you guys already approved the plan. Now it's officially thing for the. Did receive the grant. SIA. Even investment account. Comes with tax. Funds are divided the program supplies and art. Services.
Not loading, but.
And our targets within this funding, we have a few strategy outcomes. So reducing academic disparities received by trend all through benchmark third grade and on track graduate. Well, with Senate Bill 141, there will be additional. more grade levels, but currently this is what's in place. And then another outcome of the health law, yeah. Safety and that. And outcome be all the participating real world on development jobs. For this. Any question?
I read through the one that was on there before, there's every other. There, 23, it's, targets, the third grade reading, really, really low numbers. Seem low to me.
23.
Like 30%. For third graders, a target or what? Our target is all students, but what's that like 30%? What is that? I hope it's not a target.
I actually think that it,
Seems really low. Is that, you know, am I?
actually you should.
Yeah.
Okay,
I was gonna
it
say
is.
last time we
So-
were, if it was like 7.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask something I learned at conference. Should this slightly and put in a third grade Kate instead of pushing kids along that are at home.
I guess, but and to Jamie's point in that sense, I understand the controversy around it and there's an emotional piece of it, but what does the social emotional piece look like when you're a 10th grader or a 12th grader and you can't read at a third grade level? Because but what, I mean, I think there's a social emotional component at third grade, right? That we're trying to protect against. And I say we, but I think it's the bigger, it's outside of this district that's trying to do that. But to your point of lesson system, do we actually support our students better if there's, I don't know. And those are operational decisions, obviously, but I think the question I think for the board is, what does our support process look like for our superintendent? Sure.
Like I brought this. I think that's the
Reading and math from what you're sharing also too, right? Like it's,
And I think a lot.
Well, and I think it gets checked by the reading platform.
So yeah, that's.
Coming out, that should show the progress, getting back like some of the stuff, all scientific, proven ways to teach you how to read. We should see some improvements with that. And I know that there are some students that will struggle to hit that mark with some learning differences and stuff like that, but they're people. And I just don't know how good of a service we're doing. Pushing them through because that's what we're supposed to do.
And I think hard, there's so, gonna go 1.1, there's. For the fire, but formal report, board, and looking at the board. They surveyed every district. And top 4 at that before that. There is a possibility of that. That, so, because not every student. So it's not like. Also don't know. It's where there's data point. After that.
And how often are we reassessing all of these data points and how we're getting data, and then we change it the next year? And so how consistent is the data? I mean, that
Get from assessment that they are proposing that. Right. So there is a shift happening. I don't know what that. I but these are big conversations that are happening right now. They are basically acknowledging. Well, like there's some conversation. I was one of the parents that opted out for a long period of time, so it's really good with the picture. Because it just seems like the data that was back was so untimely that it didn't give me an opportunity. So, and it is more time than I think. Yeah. What is the benefit? Support. What resources? Those. It can all be done. Collective.
Well, and I think that's the point, right? Like you're handling the operation hallways, the education on what's going to be changing. And I think we need to know how we support you in that space. Like what do we do to get behind you to say with innovative ideas and how we're moving forward? Because at the end of the day, how we support you supports them, the staff and the students. So, yeah. You need to vote on this though.
We do.
Okay, so we did have discussion and questions. Did you have any other questions? Okay, so is there a motion to consider? Is there a second? Any further discussion? All right, Laura? Yes. Thank you. Tuition reimbursement?
So, there is a piece in there for. Final. So I just completed fall term. Exhausted. So I.
Does anybody have a contract? Did we put a, it's 2,400, 23,48.97.
And then next term.
Oh, absolutely. Per contract.
I
think
will
you're-
make a motion that we, agree to reimburse Stacy up to her contract amount of 5,500 for any reimbursement for her education.
Good. All right, any questions? All right, Laura, roll call. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Old business, we have nothing. We have nothing in first reading. We have nothing in second reading, but for the first time I think I've ever seen, we have a third reading. And I actually was just going to say, I like it because we're diving into the things that really help. So we have a third reading on curriculum development, which I do believe, I think I'm summarizing this correctly, that this has now it's gone through the board to get our wishes. It's gone to PACE to approve, OSBA to approve with their legal side of things. And it is the highlighted section that was added. So are there any questions or discussion on this one before we make a motion? Yes, I'm just
Before Jamie read aloud, I wasn't really able to look at, when I'm looking at it together, it seems a little bit redundant. The first paragraph has several of those components already talked about. Using data. Some of the data that I was wanting to try to pinpoint was the data from the curriculum provider as well as our own district data. I don't think we should be investing in curriculum that doesn't. Everybody wants a new shiny thing, but there's no data to prove that it's functional. We are a small district, have small funds. I want to make sure that when we choose and we're selecting curriculum, that we're utilizing curriculum that has proven success behind the focus of which our goals for the district for our students. Does that make sense? Yeah. So the first paragraph talks about we're using data to look at the curriculum. You want to make sure that the curriculum data also. I want to make sure we're looking at the curriculum data when we're selecting it. So we're investing, getting a product that will get a true return on investment. The question about the curriculum will be regularly evaluated. Because I think at some point in years past, we were talking about some other policy. We were talking about when we review something, and I was like, can we do it more often? I feel like we should be reviewing curriculum fairly often. And I was told that we don't want to have it. What if it expect somewhere where we review it, say, yeah, we need new curriculum, but we don't have.
But if we don't evaluate it regularly, we wouldn't know that. And then also if it's not meeting our goals and the data's not there anymore, does it give us time to budget for it like the next cycle? Because we know that. So it's like that.
Regularly is time it will review every 6 months, so we're review every year, we'll review every 5 years. It's giving us room. I also learned with curriculum that curriculum can be changed. Like most curriculum development companies will put out their curriculum based on their populated area. For example, if there's this controversial topic, right, of climate change, and what do you mean climate change on cows? Well, if you have a whole community full of cattle ranchers, you don't probably want to have that in your classroom teaching your kids. You might have some really upset parents. That's just an example that was given in this example because I was kind of shocked. You can actually contact the curriculum provider and have things modified a little bit to fit your community. And you know it's possible.
And I think one of the things that I see in this change is really it's empowering the district superintendent to have that evaluation process. That's what we're looking at. I do like that last sentence. It has been missing in the past. I need to our district. Because like we haven't had laid out objectives in the past, and we're trying to do that. And I do like having that in there. Another interesting thing that I'm looking at this is that policy about the core instructional materials, IIF or something, has language in that about the instructional materials themselves that pretty much are the same. Like the curriculum now you have similar language between curriculum and the instructional materials. there a second? I'm gonna give it to George tonight. It's a tie. Any further discussion or question? All right, with that, or we will public please. All right, any board comments?
I want to talk about our January 3rd event. I noticed it wasn't on our future date, but I also would like to think we should get information out sooner rather than later with the holidays in the middle of all of it. Something to go home with the kids. I'm happy to help with the planning around what we're gonna serve, and if I can help with that, kind of our thing, I'm happy to help with that.
Yeah,
I like at 4 o'clock before.
Okay,
that's what I thought, yeah, no, I think it was at 4 o'clock to try to offer a dinner before the meeting, share some information, and I think we're gonna record it and post it. Or I mean, I think it's a work session, but
Yeah.
too, but I would love to.
But it would be cool to that point also with getting things out there, if we had faced that community members could send their questions ahead of time as well. So that if they can't make it, maybe their questions can be answered. Maybe we even create a FAQ out of the session, and then we kind of have that FAQ on the website also under our board.
I mean, I'm always.
Yeah.
Kind of nervous to see if anybody's gonna show up. So that's how our superintendent, but I do know some people. That are interested in it as well. So, I just think that we get the information out there, we can all share it more on our social media, like, forefront, but I know sometimes we don't send it out like before, and I know right for 4 o'clock. Something that we can serve. I don't know if
You're gonna go get right.
I don't know how many people are thinking. That's why.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy to make something, but I better make the more people that'll show up.
Well, it's on a game night too, and so we
Right.
could.
No, but I don't want to also necessarily take away from the session. But
What if we just did, it's kind of silly, but what if we just did like a dessert platter? Like, what if we just did like cookies and coffee and
at 4 o'clock.
yeah. We'll give them decaf even if it's like.
What if it's, I mean, if it's not senior night or something, they're not gonna get dinner.
Right.
What you saying?
Do we have, does the board have any sort of budget for that? I mean, I personally would love to reach out to, yeah, to the, out of something that we could serve. And what that price would be. Keep the roll. Right, right. I don't know if that's something that she might be able to do with. I'm not very about her.
Other board comment?
How many people?
It is so hard.
It's hard to.
Maybe we can ask them to, can they RSVP somehow on a form to see if we could get an accurate accounting.
Click here if you know you're gonna come for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah. So I'll let Deb know that I can, I'll give her a quick, number head count. Okay, I'll do that. how the like file. Well, and I'm happy to do a big batch of.
I feel like I should go with
Okay.
reciprocal sketch.
Gonna do reciprocal stuff?
We're not making promises tonight that we can.
Let's see if we have that as a.
All right, other board comments? I was just gonna give a quick shout out to our athletics or our athletic teams that travel to Grants Pass. One thing I noticed, it's an interesting tournament. But I wanted to just show some appreciation to the kids, and our coaches, but to our kids who represented our district very well. Well behaved, well mannered, cleaned up after themselves, showed outstanding sportsmanship towards other teams while they were playing. Yeah, we're just very proud of them and how they represented our district. So shout out to them.
Good to hear. Congratulations.
Yeah. Yeah, trophy for it. Future agenda items. Do we want to talk about it again at the next board meeting or?
I don't know. I don't know what phase that operational phase. I know I discussion from us or. Probably was wanted. Well, no, I didn't get stuff. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a.
Well, but I would say the other thing that's new this year is those non-negotiables coming out of the classroom. That's an entirely new thing that we've learned about as a board, and so putting that in place with the iReady and seeing where we're going with that. We want to evaluate in the February meeting what our iReady scores look like and have some of those future conversations at that point.
I'm not, but still, I just want to plan it out. But I'm open to how the first year goes, when I how the process that we've not had in place before. We've got this year science reading coming in. That's, I think we could evaluate later this year. Still all of it.
They've got every grade.
Yeah, but there's data that proves really
Third
sounds
grade.
like that third grade mark in literacy really sets up that advantage for many kids. So, and honestly, that we have to baby step a system. I know that in my head it even sounds bad to say out loud. If that's what we should focus. I'm not going to give up on this group over here, but our efforts should really focus on one getting those what happen fast as we can and helping others as well. Putting that attention along the way really our
So I'm hearing, let's let the data tell a story for right now and continue just having conversations, and then we'll work on BCSU, continue to look at your goals and things like that. We'll keep weighing in and keeping that at the head of focus. All right.
Well, I know you've been an increase of encouraging people to come in and fill out background reports and volunteer. I know that there have been grandparents. Over the. But there's gonna be kind of space, like there's.
That's just a volunteer coordinator at school. Like, people are like, I'll volunteer, but someone has to tell me when and where and what to do, and that,
And the
I'm not
teachers
your
will
job.
learn along the way when they have the time for that.
All right, well, then I'm gonna go through some key dates. December 22nd through January 1st, there will be no school, along with, January 5th, there will be no school, so our teachers can have a work day. We are back in school January 6th. We have a regular board meeting on January 12th, and then we will have our work session on January 13th with OSBA to talk about role of a board with the community.
Library. Library would be good, and I can probably reserve called an owl. They're all over the speaker. It goes around for anybody that may log in online. Fire out. And
Like that, like advertising it.
Yep, I'll build some fire. Be fine.
Maybe our art class wants to build some flyers.
Yeah,
That'd
there
be
we
kind
go.
of cool.
That would be
Anywho,
really
no, I just thought maybe that like if we put something out there at the gate table, people might.
Question and answer. Question. Up front. Or
It would be
like.
And there's.
I like the idea of doing it there. At the community
Yeah.
event though, too.
Yeah.
Okay. Jamie, are you thinking on the coordination of that a little bit on the external side of it? Like, are you, I guess I'm asking that question so we don't just leave it here and then we don't have anything. Okay. She's got flyers and everything.
And we
Okay.
are offering it via Zoom, yeah?
We have to have a
Yeah.
Zoom, we have to have a Zoom option. That will be the only key thing in that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, with that, we are done this evening at 7:27. Thank you.